Today we're featuring Lavern Gumbs, as she is known locally, but who is officially known by the name Lavern Davis. Lavern is a national of St. Kitts and Nevis who has certainly established herself in the cosmetology industry in Plantation, Florida. She's a licensed and certified beautician who joined the membership of the Greater Plantation Chamber of Commerce in 2019. Lavern wears many hats as an entrepreneur and businesswoman, a beauty educator, a coach, a mentor, and a community worker. Lavern is here with us on Good Morning SKN to speak to us about youth empowerment. Welcome to Good Morning SKN, Lavern.
Hi, good morning, good morning.
It's a pleasure to be speaking with you in person for connections. You know, we said that you're based in Florida, and obviously you were here now, so it's good to have that face-to-face conversation. All right, let's talk all about youth empowerment and your work in it. Why is that important to you?
Well, youth empowerment is very important, not just for me, but I have no choice. I have to tell myself, I was a youth myself, and growing up, we had, at the time, a village raising, you know, the homes, we had like the church, everything was connected. Everybody, to me, used to be so happy and friendly. However, being able to travel overseas, I realized that sometimes, even me, I didn't even realize I was looking angry, you know, just all beautiful, and, you know, my face, like, I just have the world of problems on my shoulder. And being out there, like, you know, you have people who are like, guys, and I'm like, you know, when we think of a man, we think they're going to be hitting on us. And it was like, you're so beautiful. Whatever it is, it doesn't worth it. So I gave myself a self-check. Okay. You understand what I mean? And all that is empowerment. So when coming back to the youths now, as I get older, I'm just so happy to know that I have made it. I have reprogrammed myself and, you know, empower myself through a lot of learnings. Other people helped me along the way. And also just being a cosmetologist, the people that channel towards us. We have men, women, doctors, lawyers, all different people come in, and you will think they're just coming for a haircut or service, right? Trust me. People just venting.
Okay.
And that's what empower me.
Okay.
Because when I see people that I think is millionaires and certain profession, and they're telling me all about the issues, and I just say to myself, am mine ain't too bad? You know? Yeah. So come back with all of that. After I understand what self-love is, I had to make it, you know, important for myself to be a duty in this world, to help guide the youth because of my maturity, my experience, my exposure. So yes, youth empowerment, coming back to that, I had to give a little, you know, yes. Youth empowerment is very important for youths on a whole. Youth empowerment helps the youth to understand the purpose of building communities and being able to be of purpose in the communities. We have often now, you know, we have the mainland, the TVs, corporate America, we're from the Caribbean and West Indies women and men. We have to be very careful that we are not really empowering the youths to know thyself, having a positive sense of self. And that is where self-esteem, self-confidence, lack of knowledge in terms of life skills, stuff that we take for granted. So all of this will help the youth. It's like a reinforcement of what was in the home from our parents. So empowering the youths, it also helped them to be more knowledgeable. As you know, health is wealth.
Yes.
And when we think of health, a lot of us think, well, you know, well, I look good, I'm healthy, but it's all about building a healthy mind. So yes, when it comes to youth empowerment, it is very, very important, and I am going to continue doing as much as I can. I've already seen a big change in my daughter itself by me being, you know, being able to remain authentic. Because as a hairstylist, there's so many styles move back and forth, but I've kept to the theoretical part of, in terms of the wellness, the purpose of what cosmetology is about, the science of art, and it comes from knowledge.
So why did you get into cosmetology? Because I've known you were the famous hairstylist from since I was a little girl. You always hear about Lavern, Lavern, Lavern. So what drove you into that direction?
A lot of things has actually drove me into that direction. As a child, I really did not see myself. I didn't even know nothing about cosmetology.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're from the Caribbean. You know, I grew up just braiding and doing hair. And, you know, this is a local crowd. We're talking from our Caribbean people. So I grew up like knowing like how to braid hair on the veranda and stuff.
Okay.
But when I moved to Florida, Miami, Florida, I actually wanted to become a model because everybody used to tell you, you're tall and beautiful, and that's all I knew, you know?
Okay.
But anyway, I saw the cosmetology school, Wilfred Academy at the time.
Okay.
That would have been 1987 to be exact.
Okay.
Yeah. And it advertised, and I was like, wow, you know, the way how they put the advertisement and everything. And I would also go to do my hair.
Okay.
And Patsy Alice, I don't know.
Yes,
if
I know her.
Patsy
Yes.
Alice.
Yeah, the next famous one. Yes.
God bless her soul.
Yes.
I would go by Patsy, and I was like, Patsy, I want my hair to do this. And she was like, listen, child, don't come back in here. You need to go do your own thing. You just go to.
Okay.
But it never really like dawned on me until I went up there.
Okay.
However, when I went and I saw it, and then I went in, the good thing is the opportunities to do cosmetologies in the US, they have like grants and stuff. So as a teenager, you know, it was able to, I didn't really have to worry about the monies, even though you have to pay it back.
Yeah.
And you get a stipends, you know, at the end of the week.
Yes.
But I must honestly say, my brother used to cut hair.
Okay.
And growing up in St. Kitts, good old St. Kitts, you know, everything is manual. So if you're trained in the Caribbean and you go in the States, to me, you're supposed to be better. It makes sense?
Yes.
Right? So because of my brother, when I went to the States now and I saw it, I went and I did very, very well. But I would say it's the art and creativity in me that I didn't even know.
Okay.
I just like to draw, anything to do with drawings. So it's not just cosmetology, like I'm more like a visionary kind of person, like
Okay.
hands-on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we actually have some examples of happy customers. Can we get that clip?
She's the best ever. Nobody like her. Amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
And she gives me champagne while I'm in the chair.
Yeah, that is regular customer level.
I'm actually, if you notice, I'm kind of like bubbly,
Yes.
like extra happy.
Yeah.
Because he literally texted me this morning to get a haircut, and I'm down here. Literally,
Okay.
right? They're heading down to St. Martin, and they're going to
Okay.
go over to St. Bart's. And if you know me very well, you know, I just say, hey, you got to come over to St. Kitts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he is a client. And, you know, I'm going to take the opportunity here when it comes to customers and clients. If somebody come to you one time, it's a customer. 2 times is a customer. The 3rd time is a client.
Oh, okay.
And he has been coming by me almost, I would say, almost a year.
Okay. So that's
He have not gone anywhere. These guys are not afraid to just love the Lavy. And strange enough, the clientele that I have at the moment is all male.
okay.
Okay, so there's something about your energy and the skills that you have that keep it that way.
The haircut Lavern.
Ooh.
Would you recommend?
Always recommend Lavern.
Awesome.
Jamie, you can go for your haircut now, right?
Okay.
So, Lavern, we came across Real Talk with Lavy on Facebook. Tell us about it and its part it plays in empowering the youth.
Okay, so Real Talk with Lavy, actually it came out of the blue. Being overseas and, you know, social media, like it started opening up to the Caribbean. And sometimes I would get bored, and after realizing that people in St. Kitts now and the Caribbean are connected, you know, everybody on social media, I I used to be on Facebook, and this back and forth, people expressing their opinions, people getting upset, people getting angry behind the gadgets and creating fights with good people they know. You know what I mean? I'm talking about people like you and this young man out there, just because of comments or maybe politics or whatever, opinions.
Yeah.
And that is when I realized this is not the Lavern Gumbs. This is not what I stand for.
Yes.
This is not what my family is in St. Peter's Parish. This is not the Lavern Gumbs of consider myself as a strong woman, an entrepreneur, someone that cares about people. And I said, this is not me. I need to find my way on social media. And many times I tell myself, I'm going to come off of social media because it was just so toxic. And the people would message me and like, Lavi, I miss you. They're setting up all kind of things. It was like, oh my God, I'm so loved.
You didn't know.
So I tell myself, I need to do something. And I created that platform basically for St. Kitts and Nevis people, the Leeward Island, Windward Island, anybody in the Caribbean. Of course, I'm not limiting to anyone else being limited, but I find that I had to do something like that because we never really had a voice. And there's a lot of diasporas that live overseas.
Yes.
They will inbox me and like a lot of them went away for years and couldn't hear nothing about St. Kitts. Some of them will probably be a tourist, a stranger in the land.
Yes.
But coming across that, they link up with other people too. So it really came out good, and a lot of people like the vibes about it. Yeah. And I learn trials and errors as I go along. I had to learn how to be more positive and not being distracted because somebody might say something negative or somebody might not like the page or attacking someone else. So I had to do some work, and a lot of it I learned how to ignore, and I tell myself any negativity on my page, I'm going to look for the name and I'm going to block them. Because the purpose of Real Talk with Lavi was just about empowering our people and giving them a platform, not just for me, but anybody could go on the platform, just like what you guys are doing here.
Okay. So what are some of the topics that you discuss on the platform?
Well, it was no limit. Everybody know Lavern Gumbs is fearless in a positive way,
Okay,
so there wasn't any limits, and politics and relationships to me was my two main strengths.
Okay.
One of the reasons for politics, I just was a bit disappointed to see in a time like this, Generation X, having to be so, well, not really the Generation X, but the Generation X having to hear all this negativity and loudness from persons who have, the baby bloomers and stuff like that. So I wanted basically to touch on the politics, and I happen to do the politics. I get punched, but I am respected when it comes to the politics because now a few people, sensible-minded, open-minded people that are of a critical thinker, are realizing, it's okay to talk these things. These are things I would hear people, I don't want to hear about the politics. I ain't in it. You don't have to be in it. Politics is a part of our nation, whether we like it or not. So that was one of the reason why I had Real Talk, and a lot of people was coming on, person was sharing the information. And I managed to even get guests imagine I wasn't all the way in Florida, and I had, doing my little Zoom, I had people from Nevis, St. Kitts, all over, where the NRP, they came on board. A few people from the Labour Party came on board. I actually I throw it out to everyone. But I don't think that some people people, like I said, for whatever reason, we still have this group kind of thing. And as an entrepreneur, nobody controls Lavern Gumbs. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody controls Lavern Gumbs. And that's why youth empowerment is so important, because we should not be controlled by anyone.
So let me ask you this then, since it's so important. What exactly is youth empowerment in your mind? What should it do?
Right. In my mind, youth empowerment is basically about a positive sense of self first. Okay? Another thing is youth empowerment in my mind. Knowledge is power, as I said. And if you understand it's not even just about youth empowerment, because what I'm seeing is the young is disconnect from the old.
Okay.
The old is disconnect from the young.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the Caribbean, you see somebody go down the street and they like maybe even have a child of 40, 50, much less 60. Where's she old going? You know what I mean? So my thing is you never, old is when you're dead. Park up, meaning you're buried, you can't come back. You understand? So with youth, and that's where youth empowerment comes in, because you will basically have a vision, not just to thinking that you have to be controlled by someone that have an organization, like for instance, maybe like I got to be careful how I word it, but let's suppose, you know, in St. Kitts, we are customer going out in groups to be empowered. So if the importance of youth empowerment is being able to understand thyself, and you can travel alone empowering other people.
Oh, that's okay.
And by doing that also, it helps you to have an imagination, being able to be ambitious, create jobs for yourself. It also helps to slow down the growth of the growth of the poverty cycle. So youth empowerment for me, it's a really big thing because, like I said, it helps you to understand the purpose of who you are. And if you understand yourself, then you can be out there to do anything. You can be a community leader without being a politician. And that is why we're having a lot of failed politicians in the entire world. Because we're just going and maybe choosing people or just selecting people. But a lot of them have not really walked the talk. They're just talking, but they have not really walked the talk. They have not really understand how it is to care for other people. You take money from some people, and how can they smile? You ever think about that?
Yeah.
You know, we're up here looking all nice in our clothing. It's all about being authentic and just being true. And if we really follow the Bible and we follow the commandments and everything, and we really live through that, it's all about love. And it all comes from the empowerment of youth. You have to start from small in order to understand even the empowerment of what youth empowerment is about. As I get older, many things I'm saying here, I'm quite sure my mom, if she was alive, she was like, is that my child? You know what I'm speaking about, right? Yes.